Apprentice. Okay, here we go. Ready? It's all about healing our lives. Enlightenment, the way to enlightenment, you get there by healing your life. You are God. You are God. You get to God. You get to know what God is. Love. Love without an opposite. The feeling, realization of oneness. The verb, the action, the energy, the expansion of God. You get to know that through practicing self-love and healing your life. And then when you get to heal your life, you begin to know thyself, your healthy self, and now thyself within the knowing of thyself. Living in the now, in the NOWOSPHERE, is knowledge. You get to know this sacred dance about yourself. And as you learn to understand yourself on deeper and deeper levels as a multidimensional being, you begin to understand vibration, the power of the law of attraction, the power of the law of vibration. And as you meditate, you cultivate your daily practice of meditation, you go deeper and deeper still, and you understand there's these levels and these layers of you requiring your acknowledgement. As you uncover and continue healing, you're invited to be a master of your time and space, a master of your tongue, of your word, and of the thoughts that you keep over the words that you speak. And you begin to be invited to understand the power of impeccability and what you give rise to and what you excite as atoms in this universe through your tongue and through your mind, through your thoughts. And as you begin to understand this deeper, you begin to realize that you are constantly practicing alchemy. You are constantly practicing alchemy. Maybe you go through a modality like REIKI to understand energy, or Tai Chi, whatever it might be. You continue healing those layers, sharing that healing with others perhaps. And as you go deeper into your own path of healing, you begin to understand how you simply choosing healing allows healing to choose you back. You understand your power as a conscious co-creator in the creation and the manifestation of the realities that you experience. And as in understanding those levels of manifestation, you begin to become aware of the dance of sacred geometries. You begin to become aware of the dance of the sacred geometries. And the timelines, the different versions of you, one that existed in the past, one that exists in the future. The cellular memory, the DNA begins to change. You begin to shift out of old patterns, out of old paradigms, as you rewrite, renew, rewire, and rethink and re-speak as a master of time and space over your life. And as you do, the atoms that make you up begin to be redistributed. You dematerialize and rematerialize. You become activated, activated, activated on a different level. You're beginning to understand through your healing, through mastering your time and space, through practicing alchemy, that you are indeed this multidimensional being. You are not just a body. And when the heart continues to be given the right of way through operating under that mystic gift of trust, and the pineal gland is given the right of way to see love and only love, well, the natural nectar in your head and your glands, the monoatomic gold that is contained within us, that in my visions have come to me, that it's a hardened nectar like an amber. And when we have activated the kundalini to a certain degree and we've learned how to hold that kundi, is that it begins to send a signal up into the pineal, which begins to soften the nectar, that amber, that sweet nectar that's inside of you. And that begins to drip, 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 drip down onto your tongue, and you begin to speak even in greater and greater graciousness and love and in light over your world. And as you do, you're accessing your ability as a metaphysician. You are allowing that Christos secretion, the sacred secretion, the pumping of the cerebral spinal fluid to your body to be activated. The heart is the third eye is the heart. You let those activities act up, calibrate, kundalini rising, pineal gland falling, dripping, the Christos secretion circulating. And we begin to understand then this deeper aspect of how we may exist here in the universe, that this entire collective consciousness is interconnected as a matrix, the grid matrix of collective consciousness. And it contains all of our thoughts through all time, space, through all dimensions, through every lifetime we've ever been here, if you believe in that. All the feelings, all the definitions, all the memories, the pain, the laughter, all of the thoughts, all the things that haven't even been said, all the feelings, the emotions, it's all contained in this landscape, this matrix, this mapping, this webbing that has generated rhythms of interconnected dimensional systems. And as we begin to understand this interconnection and how we're a part of it and how every thought and word we speak, as a master of our time and space, we begin to understand and gain a deeper and deeper understanding and respect for the knowledge we attain as we apply it in our lives. And so understanding metaphysics and the grids, we start to practice applied metaphysics, learning energy tools such as the Merkaba, understanding aspects that fit in to this grid matrix of collective consciousness, scientific theories that relate, including quantum physics, chemistry, biology. Well, what happens is we begin to understand that we are this 3D being. Yes, we're in the world. We're in the world, yet as we go along our path of healing our lives, we realize that we're more than just that body. And 3D, right, the physical world, the world that we're told the world is on the news, the stories that we're told about who we are and the limitations maybe, or the pain or the suffering that we have to continue embodying, all the stories from the past and the stories projected about the future that we really don't have to carry, really, but that we can allow, to be healed. Well, all those things, that's a part of the 3D, that's a part of the world, and that's what we teach as the binary system. It's the love or fear, and that's the gravity. It's having all those beliefs based in the duality and the polarity consciousness that is projected as the world. It's the world. Yet, we practice self-mastery. We understand that free will, and I will quote Marianne Williamson, is the ability to think whatever we want. You can think whatever you want. That's your free will. And as a master of time and space, that whatever you choose, whatever you think, whatever you speak is going to set up the gridding, connect you to the matrix through your spoken word and your thought, especially on repeat, to those like energies, because you understand that everything is vibration and like attracts like. And what you think about, you bring about, right? And through your free will and the practice of self-mastery, aligning with impeccability in all your endeavors to the highest degree, right, we begin to heal the tipping point and know enough of the 3D pain of the memory of the past and continue to get used to what enlightenment feels like, to rest and to know thyself divine as God knows God, to know that we are a part of the extension of that verb, of that energy that is love, being love, and that we are that. And knowing that without a doubt shifts the tipping point. From 3D to 4D, we begin to be in the world and not of it. We begin to experience bliss, heaven on earth, trinary consciousness, that which gives us levity, the thoughts that we think and the words that we speak now, instead of binding us gravitationally to the grids and the thoughts that others have had about the past. As we release those thoughts, those feelings, those emotions, heal our lives, we are freed from ourselves and from the greater collective of all minds, thoughts, and feelings that have ever had any projection about whatever it is that you're healing. In the 4D, we know that we are spirit. We know that we are not a body. What happens is through self-mastery and the impeccable practice of free will, we begin to learn, we heal our lives to the degree where we begin to learn how to straddle and have one foot in 3D in the world and not get hung up in the world and stressed out and think that the world is real, but we begin to have also one foot in 4D in heaven on earth, where we're seeing through our heart, seeing through our third eye, seeing, resting, surrendering to trinary, surrendering to trusting the mystic gift in the heart, which gives levity to spirit, for spirit to guide. And now here we go. This is it now. And then we get to hear the complete surrender. Okay, so this is where we have 3D, is like where we really got both feet in the world. And the world is real and it's heavy and we got a lot of stuff to heal and a lot of stuff to figure out, etc., etc. It's really real. We start to pray, we start to heal, we surrender, we begin to shift, gain levity, use our thought, our word, use our prayers, use our practices in self-mastery to exercise our free will in alignment with our higher self, to calibrate 4D consciousness, to heal to the degree, again, that we have 2 feet, 1 foot in the world, 1 foot in heaven on earth, and we're straddling that sacred space in each and the sacred space in between. And when we have 2 feet in 4D, when we've completely surrendered to the 0 point, to the tiny space in the heart, to the God that is within you, when we've given our life over to that which is greater than us and say, okay, you show me where to go, what to do. I'm yours, use me, God, use me love, use me universe, use me the most high love and light. We'll begin to calibrate the torus field. There's a dislodgement from the world as we've known it, and we really move through that 0 point, move through the trinary, the gateway of that trinary. And the observer effect doesn't matter anymore because we're living in the now and because we're not seeing with our own eyes. We're now allowing God's vision to see through us. We're in the world, not of it, completely. And this whole idea, my environment is alive and responds to my perception of it, which is such a powerful teaching, right? And the alchemy and the knowledge, the vibration, the meditation, being a master of your time and space, being an alchemist, learning your healing practices, etc. Right? This is so vital to know that your environment is alive and responds to your perception of it. Yet if you don't have a perception, if you're not using the physical eyes, the 2 eyeballs to perceive, and you're allowing the 3rd eye to use God's vision through you, then there's no observer effect. You've dislodged the Kundi and the Nectar and the Christos. It's all the sacred trilogy. It's all happening. The bliss mode, the enlightenment, the tools begin to use themselves. Yes, you sit to do the meditation. And yes, you breathe and you allow, you focus. The tools begin to use themselves. You show up for the meditation, you breathe, you allow, and what happens is that where you have been moving prana or visualizing colors, certain techniques, you've been conscious of, well, what happens is those techniques start to use themselves, they start to use you. You're hardly even trying to do them at all, they just are. They are happening in the now. And all of this dislodgement, this true 0 point, this like complete heaven on earth, complete 4D, like all in, both feet in, this is when you've had the courage to allow your hidden purpose to be revealed to you through God. This is actually when you've given your life completely to God. It's complete surrender, but what happens is then you get this access to this free energy that is so much more than yours. And the things that you've always, quote, wanted, they're yours. You just get to let God, let love show you how to get there from here. And it is your hidden purpose that you may be not aware of yet. And it's related and connected to this idea that there's a renaissance happening right now. There's a universal reincarnation happening where there's tons of us that have been here before that are here again now. And we're here to celebrate. We're here to celebrate the remembering that love is the truth. That love is the truth. That love is the truth.